just shut that blind down a little bit. I want to show you one of the movements that I use. So I do have a daily movement practice, mindful movement practice. There's that word again, mindful. This gets misused, okay? It gets misused, and it gets used to scam people. A lot of the time when you hear these buzzwords like mindfulness, it's a scam, because they're invoking some visualization. Basically, they're invoking some fantasy, some imagination, and that's not what real mindfulness is about. I would recommend you also look at Adam Meisner, who's a very high level meditator and Tai Chi master, and he's going to explain to you what is correct mindfulness and what is a scam. Mindfulness, it needs to be directly related to some skill in life, some real world skill. Okay, a funny one would be, as a man, how do you approach women, and how do you come across in a so there's things you have to be mindful of, right? You have to be mindful of, okay, if there's a girl over there that I want to go and talk to, I can't just come and approach her from behind and say, hey. Then she'll be like, ah! She'll be like, oh my God, you scared me. And then, she will most likely because when women, they're just wired this way. It's not their fault. Their emotional brain kicks in, and then she will probably recall it will link to some other negative thing, and then she will end up using me as a scapegoat. It's one of those guys again. So this is a very good example, actually. Some people think this is a funny example. A very good example, actually. Even if you're gonna, doesn't matter if you're a guy approaching a girl, or even if you're a girl approaching a guy, or if you're just approaching someone that you feel interested to talk to for whatever reason. Whether it's trying to get their phone, whether it's what you want to get their phone number, or whether it's you're interested in what they're doing. There's a certain things you have to be mindful of in order to come across in the right way. And also you have to be mindful of your own self-image. You have to be mindful of your of yourself, of your mind, right? And we could talk about so many other things, like if we could talk about martial arts, if boxing, you have to be mindful of keeping your guard up all the time, okay? You can't, there's so many things. So mindfulness, it must be related to some legitimate skill. It can't just be visualizing some fantasy, okay? So this is one movement which I do, which it's you are developing, you are being mindful of your own energy, your body energy in a way. You'll need to develop certain body mechanics to do this movement, because it's not just like normal coordination, okay? There's a lot of good like dancing, that can teach you, hip shoulder coordination, hand-eye coordination, but this is just very basic movement, okay? This one is actually developing what is referred to as balloon body mechanics. Well, that's what I call it, because that's what people who have an understanding of how to develop the body according to old school Gong Fu or Tai Chi, Qigong, Neigong principles. And also the yogic system is also develops the body in this way, in some lineages of yoga, to enhance the buoyancy, okay, to make your body more buoyant, okay. So the move I'm going to do, it's quite high level, it's very difficult, but essentially you are, because our body has many layers of fascia, okay, and the balloon body mechanics, it's very closely related to the I Ching Ching development system. It is about how, because way back in the day, the people who developed these arts, they looked at nature and they looked at they looked at the different characteristics of things in nature, plants, animals, birds, the river, the sky, the rain, everything. But in this instance, they were very interested in the bamboo, because bamboo, it is very, very strong, and it's very springy, and it has a very long lifespan, because it has a way of maintaining its youthfulness, okay? And they thought, how can we apply the same principle in the body to make our body springy and tensile, and able to receive more impact, and able to issue more force, able to not just that, but also to develop the body. And the body is the mind. The mind is not just here. My mind is just as much in my pinky finger, or on the back of my knee, or on my toe. The mind is just as much here as it is in here. It's just that because our brain is here, a lot of our mind, the conscious, the energy gets condensed. What's the word? Whatever, words don't matter, okay? I'm using everything I have at my disposal here to illustrate this to you. So the mind, it is very much like an energy field that is very much inside the perimeter of the body, but the mind also extends outside of the body as well, in an electromagnetic kind of energy field. And we can develop that. When you develop that, you will feel that, okay? You will feel that. And if you develop to a high level, you can even issue it out. You can push objects over with that. It takes a lot of work, but you can also use it for healing, for so many things. The thing that we're working with this particular move I'm going to show you is about the density of the body. So we talked about the mind being an energy field which is immersed through the whole body, and because our brain here, often we get stuck up in our head with other animals, cats, dogs. Cats are really good. They have a very, very small brain, so therefore they don't get caught up in their in the language, because they don't really have a language. Well, they do have some equivalent of that, but they don't get caught up in here. Their brain is like in their whole body. It's in their tail. It's just everywhere. They're very, 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 very aware. Have very good control over, every single little bit of every single gram. Okay, every single little gram of weight. They are very, very. They can do it slow. They can even do it fast. They can change speed to match. Cats are faster than snakes, actually. Snakes, they can I think from 1 meter they can get about 0.7 seconds. Cats are down at 0.5, right? So, and their speed is because of how immersed they are in in their energy. Okay, so they can see when a snake is coming. They just, they can respond straight away. Okay, so cats are really good. Cats are really good to work with. Okay, really good. So this movement. So I engage the balloon body. So I inflate my Yung Chuan point. I inflate the calf. I inflate the knee. I inflate the hip. I inflate the qua. I inflate here. Inflate until it starts to all the fascia tubes starts to expand. The energy comes up my spine. And now I'm not looking with my eyes only. I'm aware of what my eyes are taking in. But my main concern is the energy field, the density. Okay, now so my density, it's going down. It's going down beneath the ground. And I'm looking with my density. Now I'm spiraling it around. I'm looking through the density cloud. The more I can detach from what my eyes are seeing and just use the density. Inflate, expand, and then I'm being mindful of the density. Of course, I have to develop all my joints at the right as well, so that all of my joints can open up and hinge in the right way, the right angle. but it is through the channel system. You don't want to try to be mindful of something that's outside of the body. It can be done, but first it's the joints that needs to open up. All of the muscles needs to relax except the stabilizer muscles. Okay, this is what we're training this is what you train when you do pile standing. When you do stances, you are relaxing everything except the stabilizer muscles. So also the stabilizer muscles are very important in this move. And then after that, it's just about opening everything up so that the channel system can let the density flow through. And it's difficult explaining it and doing it at the same time, because now the electrical energy comes up to my brain, which builds up more density up here, which makes me top heavy, and as I'm trying to explain it, it's more difficult. So I have to let all the electricity down. Cognitive suspension.